Hey guys, what's going on? We got another PvP video here as Enhancement Shaman. This time we are doing a solo shuffle. And this will be my third solo shuffle of the season because I don't particularly like doing them or waiting for them, but here we are. And the patch 10.2.5 has recently dropped, and it had a change come with the Storm build, which I am running right now. Basically what it's done is it's reverted one of the changes that they did earlier, which was nerfing Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning by 10%, and giving it back to them, but nerfing the Ascendants. So while you're in Ascendants, your Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning do 30% less damage, so they're nerfing the burst damage of everything. But anyways, as you can see in this arena, I am an Enhanced Shaman fighting an Unholy DK, Havoc Demon Hunter, Destruction Warlock, and 2 Discipline Priests. This first one I thought I had Static Totem, but I did not. So I ended up messing up a lot of things, but the first 2 matches go completely sideways, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is when you're fighting the S tiers. But anyways, we want to be focusing down the Warlock as much as possible while trying to keep alive, essentially. But as you can see, just dead. I probably could have done a little bit more healing or something, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. This felt like a really uphill battle at all times. Not really sure what else I could have done, but now that I've realized that I don't have static totem built in, I just switched to I drop static cage totem, and I take ride the lightning just for a bit more damage output. So here again, it's me and the demon hunter. We want to go after the warlock, and a little bit of cleave on the DK just so that way he doesn't feel like he can just sit there and take it all. So there, I pop wall because I know the warlock is going to start popping off, and I want to make sure I am mitigating as much damage as possible. And here I make a quick swap to the DK, just showing like, hey, he is a target. But as you can see, I am just taking all the damage. There's nothing that I can do, and just dead. I probably could have brought out Rocky right away, but I don't even think that would keep me alive. But anyways, on to the matches where we start going up, thankfully, because yeah, it's quite annoying just fighting battles where it feels like you couldn't really do anything. And as you see here, I actually grab a Hellstone. You'll see later that I forget to do that, which costs a match, unfortunately. But here we are. Our main focus is going to be the DK, and the reason for that is he's a lot easier to attack than a demon hunter. So there, nobody stops me, so I just go right in for a hex on the priest, and we get the DK super duper low, which causes a few cooldowns from the priest. And there he runs away, and here he's actually going to grip me and try and catch me, but I get back to line of sight with my priest, thankfully, and he pops a pain suppression on me. And here they're back on the warlock. He's taking a significant amount of damage. I see that he's going to port in a second here. So I know, okay, they're probably going to switch to me here in a second after he ports. Here I go for a hex, but he line of sights it. And I am just taking cleave damage at this point, which is kind of crazy. Get a kick on the priest. He pops life swap there. So now they have absolutely nothing to keep this Death Knight alive. But we still have to be careful because the Demon Hunter can basically solo one of us to 0 pretty fast. So the DK is making the smart decision of running away. But here he makes a comeback. The priest, our priest gets, I think he got asphyxiated or he tried to grip and it didn't work. There I kicked the priest on his heel. And here the warlock is probably going to port in a second. Or, nope, okay, I get a nice Ascendance proc and kill the Unholy DK. But as you can see, I am doing a significant amount of damage, although most of it might be from cleaving the DK pets. I'm still keeping up on numbers. But with the lack of defensives and you know, utility kind of. I would like to see enhancement get a bit more damage, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But we are going to be on to the next one where we are fighting the DK and the Warlock. So here we want to stay on the Warlock, but we also want to make sure, you know, the DK is known, like he knows he's also a target. So the Warlock always opens up with Infernal Shadow Fury, which is fine. But here I pop Trinket on the Shadow Fury because I know they're going to want to burst me, so I wall right after that. I have Rocky up, so I am trying to avoid as much damage as possible. The Demon Hunter does a nice darkness, but as you can see, the Warlock gated or teleported out. So I just sat on the Death Knight instead of chasing into the room because that could cause even more issues. But as you can see, I'm taking a lot of damage here, so I just run LOS, try and help the priest a little bit with some healing, get my Earth Shield back up and run back in. Back on the Warlock, as much damage as possible, get a nice kick on the priest. He banishes him. Right there, the Warlock ports. I just switch to the DK while the Demon Hunter chases after the Warlock. Here I get pretty low. He life swaps me, which was probably a good idea. Didn't really have much. There I drop grounding to absorb all of his portal things, get a nice Ascendance proc, and knock out the DK. So it was pretty lucky on the Ascendance proc. Thankfully it went off because it was definitely getting pretty dicey there. But here, me and the DK, we are fighting the Warlock and the Demon Hunter. So same thing, we want to go after the Warlock as much as possible. This match, the DK did a really, really good job of bringing that Warlock to us. And if you didn't know, this is a 2200 MMR, despite being my third solo shuffle. Apparently I'm pretty high up there, so kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So here, the Warlock ports instantly. I get a little bit more damage off on the Demon Hunter there. The Warlock's back, he pops Nether Portal or whatever that thing is, the reflect thing, so you have to be careful of that. But as you can see, the DK is just not letting this Warlock breathe at all, which is great. I get an Ascendance proc, so I pop Doom Winds inside of it. I accidentally used my kick on the Warlock when I meant to use it on the Priest, so I gave him precog, unfortunately. But there, I was taking a huge amount of damage, so I just went LOS, dropped Tremor for my Priest, but I realized it way too late. I should have got it much, much sooner. I need to get something called big debuffs to help me realize when teammates are feared and stuff like that. But anyways, we're back on the Warlock, trying to get as much damage as possible. I trinketed a stun there to be a bit more aggressive, but wasn't really needed. He pops his reflex, so I just use Sunder to kick his Chaos Bolt. DK grips the Warlock back right in. And then I'm running away from the Demon Hunter here because he's just doing so much damage to me. Get a Hex off, didn't realize it was mostly DR'd. I kick the Fear so that way our Priest can go ahead and just keep on healing. The DK gets a nice triple blind there and we just knock out the Warlock. A really good play on his part. I think he also got the Strangulate, but I don't know if the Priest could have saved him outside of that. But here's where I make a big mistake. I forget to get a Hellstone, and this costs me the match, which really sucks. So if you're ever playing with a Warlock, make sure you get the Hellstone. It is a big part of playing with a Warlock. It's just another defensive, essentially. And if you're playing as a Shaman, it's pretty useful to have another defensive. But anyways, our main focus is going to be the DK as per usual. So I'm going to open with Primordial Wave and then send off the Feral Spirits, pop Doom Winds right away, and just start sending damage. We get them pretty low, so it's quite a lot of damage we're sending out. Here, I should have just went for a Hex onto the Priest. I don't know why I was so focused on damage. Would have been very, very helpful to get a Hex off, but there, our Priest gets a nice triple Fear. Thankfully, the Warlock gets another Fear. Then I go for a Hex, he uses Trinket, Penance, and then I go for the kick. It's very important. There's the ultimate penitence. The Demon Hunter gets a really, really good darkness off there, and it procs a lot for this DK. so it was very lucky on their part. But the priest pushes in a little bit. I didn't have Hex there. I wanted to Hex him. He could probably feel it. That's why he ran away. There is the dome. Warlock gets a nice Horrify on them. I know they're going to want to swap to me here. It feels like it. And I almost died to the Demon Hunter just doing whatever the Demon Hunter's doing. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous. But as you can see, we're just getting very, very close to knocking out the Warlock, or the DK. There's the life swap. So it's like 2%. I was like, no. And then they're back on the Warlock. He doesn't have port or anything, so he's just sitting in the barrier as much as possible. I'm going for a Hex here. I get kicked by the Demon Hunter. The Priest gets a nice grip on the DK to get him LOS away from our Warlock. I accidentally clicked on the gate, but I think it was for the best because I probably could have died there. But as you can see, this Demon Hunter is just eating me alive. So here they come in again. They get a blind off on our Priest. I try to do what I can to stay alive, but it's just not enough. And as you can see, I could have gotten away with it if I used a Hellstone. But yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you're not too discouraged by the changes to Storm, but if you're playing Enhanced, just keep on going for it. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Laters!